Next, my political sources are here. Democratic Congressman Khanna of California, and also CNN political commentator and Republican strategist Michael Singleton. I would like to ask you both about the gold card, but I'll start with DOGE, because Michael, we do repeatedly hear this pledge of transparency from the White House, from Elon Musk himself on this effort. But if you look at the website where they have been putting their contracts and saying, this is how much money we've saved from canceling all this stuff, they quietly today canceled or pulled down the ones that they claimed to have canceled that were really the biggest ones. One was it claimed to be $8 billion from ICE. It was actually $8 million. Another one, they said it was $655 million in cuts at USAID. They just counted it 3 times. Another one was from the Social Security Administration, but actually it was a fraction of the $200 million they claimed that they had. What does that say about that effort?
Well, it just says that numbers are very technical, and I think this is why they are appointing an administrator, someone who actually has the technical skills to make sure that as the American people and members of Congress are assessing this information, whether that's via X or via the DOGE's website, that the numbers presented are accurate. And I expect for those numbers to be so. Look, this is a new process. We haven't attempted anything like this as quickly as we're trying. Clinton did. It took him about 5 years to get to this point. They're trying to do something a lot quicker over, what, a month and a half? And so you're going to have some glitches. You're going to have some errors. But I think the recognition of the errors are, let's appoint someone with the technical skills and experience to make sure that these things don't continue moving forward. And I expect for us to see that come to fruition.
What's the conversation on Capitol Hill? I mean, we're even hearing from Republicans like Nicole Malliotakis in New York who say that some of the decisions here that are being made are quite rash.
Well, the problem is it's having a consequence on real people's lives. We had 15 people today talk about their experiences, many of them Trump voters, veterans saying that they voted for Trump just 2 months ago. They're fired to doing jobs like helping other veterans. One person who worked at the Department of Agriculture said that he's expecting a new baby, and now it doesn't know how he's going to take care of his family. And they appealed to President Trump, as did I, to have a reinstatement, because many of these people were doing good work. They had good performance reviews. In fact, one person was fired after being promoted because DOGE didn't even realize that the person had been promoted. So it is totally irrational beyond the human cost. And that's because you're going something that President Clinton did over 5 years with Congress. You have an agency doing like private equity. Cut, 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 cut. That's how they work in Silicon Valley. But you can't do that with the federal government.
But I just want to say, even if we were to slow the process down, you are going to have people with stories that will sort of make us sad or pull on the heartstrings, if you will, that ultimately will lose their jobs. I mean, we saw the same thing if you go back to some of the reporting during the Clinton era, where there were people who were saying, I needed my job because of my relative or a spouse was ill, or I had to take care of a child that had some type of issues. They still ultimately lost their jobs. That is a part of the process, and I just think people should expect that. Even if we were to slow this thing down and be a little more methodical, you're going to see people losing their jobs, because that's ultimately the objective here.
Sure, but you wouldn't have what they're calling those folks a Valentine's Day massacre, where on Valentine's Day they're getting a call saying they no longer have a job, no performance plan, no reviews. Most of them told they were good performers in departments where they're doing good work. I mean, it's just, it's like there's a lottery bowl of being fired. There's no rational plan around it.
And I hear what you're saying, Michael, but I want you to listen, because that is the question, the compassion here. And I also think there's a difference finding out you're getting fired via an email that you didn't respond to, potentially, where you're not totally clear if you had to respond or not. But Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene weighed in on this very thing today, and this is what she had to say.
Those are not real jobs producing federal revenue. By the way, they're consuming taxpayer dollars. Those jobs are paid for by the American tax people who work real jobs, earn real income, pay federal taxes, and then pay these federal employees. Federal employees do not deserve their jobs. Federal employees do not deserve their paychecks.
I don't understand.
That's not really pulling on the heartstrings.
But I don't understand why there's such a conundrum about people replying and responding to what they did the previous week.
Wait, no, but can you respond to that first? No, that's
Kaitlan, I have to show up to work. The congressman has to show up to work. You have to show up to work. We don't get paid if we don't show up to work. Why is that
But
expectation
that's not the
different
same
for
thing.
federal workers?
Well, one, you're ignoring the comments that I just played for you.
You know what people,
by the way.
what people think are not real jobs are members of Congress. That's the irony. The people doing the real jobs are the federal workers who are actually taking care of our parks, who are helping veterans, who are helping people get bank loans. They think the political appointees are the ones who are actually not doing the real work. And so I think the Representative Green has it backwards. And you know what? You want to go after waste and fraud. This is what's so frustrating. They're not going after any of the big ticket items, the subsidies to fossil fuel companies, the Pentagon budget with the 5 prime contractors.
Hegseth did say he wanted to cut that by 8%.
Yeah, and he said he wants to reinvest it in the other parts of the department so that the top line doesn't go down. It's all smoke and mirrors. They're not going after Medicare Advantage fraud. They're not going after prescription drugs that are costing the government money.
So Congressman, if I can interrupt.
Yeah.
I hear everything you're saying. And some of it I actually agree with. How come Democrats haven't presented an alternative plan?
We have. Senator Warren has. I have.
And not you and not Senator Warren, but the leadership of the Democratic Party. I haven't seen a plan from Hakeem Jeffries. I haven't seen a plan from Chuck Schumer. I have not seen a plan from the leadership of the party saying, look, we recognize that we have to have cuts. We recognize that government is bloated. Let us present the Democratic plan to work with the president, to work with Republicans, to do what's in the best interest of the American people.
Burned. I've known Elon for 15 years. When he got appointed, I said, I'm willing to work on substantive cuts. Senator Warren said that. Senator Sanders said that. Senator Fetterman said that. Many of us said that. But we didn't expect him in 1 month to take the attitude, took to Twitter, to the federal government, where you have this Valentine's Day massacre and Trump voters are out there saying, I don't know how we just lost our jobs and had no notice. And he's engaged in no conversation with Congress. You know, the irony is, if he's so confident in what he's doing, why doesn't he come to Congress and present it to the American people?
We're going to talk about that coming up, as I'll let you guys debate who has a real job or not. Congressman Ro Khanna, Shermichael Singleton, thank you both for being here.